Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff, and as always I also publish on Rumble, which at the moment I think it's got some issues trying to sync with the videos from the channel, I suppose because now everything is being 4K, I don't know if it takes more time or whatever, or the fact that I have like low number of subscribers, they just prioritize down the bottom of the line, I don't know, but yeah. And extra support here, and I'm also tweeting from time to time here and there. So let's get to the news here. Supposedly, again, Starfield, the thing with the FSR exclusivity, we got some more info regarding that. Again, the preloading 140 gigabytes of data. That's why the preloads started like now, I think, for the consoles or something like that, the Xbox and the Xbox Store, I think it's part of PC, but on Steam it will the preload will start on the first or the last day of this month, or 1 of September, something, one of those, to get time to download all this quantity of data. Again, of course, this is going to be huge games in terms of explorable, and so there is a lot of data for all the textures and everything. We are going to continue to see the creeping up of gigabytes of data that is going to be needed for PC games, mainly because of textures, things, because usually the engine itself usually doesn't occupy that much space. It's more about the textures that it need to be afterwards need to be on the system itself, unless you have like everything is kind of AI generated, automatically generated, then I think you can downgrade the size of this. But yeah, it's not about this article. It's the fact that the exclusivity of the FSR2, people already started to digging around the files here, and this guy, it's not the first time I saw this name. The name is from the Devil Within kind of thing, Sebastian Castellanos. But this guy from Twitter, basically, he went around, rummaged through the files, and of course, he didn't find anything regarding NVIDIA and Intel. Also, there is nothing regarding FSR, but there is. I will talk about that later. But he did not find out anything from DLSS tech, being NVIDIA or Intel, which is doesn't mean that. Definitely there is no support for this in terms of official from the companies here. This can be applied like at day one patches kind of a thing here, but yeah, or like a patch that it might be real. I don't know if it's possible to release a patch before the launch and the game updates after it's already preloaded. I don't know how that works, but yeah, there is at the moment seems that there is nothing. Nobody can find anything regarding that. But good news for people that have RTX and Intel, Pure Dark, which is one of the most known guys lately that's been injecting the DLSS and Intel XeSS tech here. It confirmed that the game will be at launch, will be supporting at least from his part, so should be like a GitHub or something like that to download the thing there. Funny thing, it's he confirmed this today or yesterday, mainly because he already receives a reviewer's copy, so he already has access to everything, which is kind of funny. The fact that he been officially letting people know from some time now that he's going to work on that, and he's been working on. I think he already injected this on Resident Evil 4 remake and another game or so. Hogwarts Legacy. I'm not sure if it supported DLSS at launch. I don't know. He's been injecting and modding this technology on games, which is at least good. That's why I love modders and the mod scene, because it gives the free reign to do these kind of things, to support games unofficially, but make them better to a certain extent, or different the way they were meant to be. That's why modders, it's one of those communities I really like. But continuing, yeah, it reiterated the confirmation of this thing for DLSS 3. and it's going to be available at 1st of September. So basically, when the because I think it's for the people that have the deluxe version of the game can play this game in the 1st of September. So we will launch that when it comes. So it's not going to like launch now. And for people to download it, will wait to official window of not being banned, because mainly it's mainly about I think the reviewer's copy of the game, so he doesn't get like any kind of issues here, kind of legally. I don't know how much he can be, because supposedly he has official access to the game itself. So I think he's trying to navigate that those waters carefully there, but we will see that. But there is my main thing with this kind of things, because basically they were going about it here also. It's one of the things I want to mention, the fact we don't see any of this on the game files. It's mainly FSR. It's like open source, and he basically appends itself to the executable, from what I understood, the way it works. So it's something that it doesn't need to have, as long as you have the driver, the FSR installed in your computer, it automatically will work through the executable. But DLSS and XeSS works in a different way, which is basically they are proprietary technologies, and basically they need to be injected in INI files or DLL files. So it works in a different way. That's why when supposedly these kind of games support the upscaling technology, they have like the DLLs on the files there. So because it's motion vector, so it has like some configurations there that need to be when the game launches and on the files there. But we'll see how it goes. No official words from either from the test in the case of Starfield or from AMD from the recent launches. There is no official confirmation in the fact that it is or isn't blocking this kind of deals, like exclusivity launch deals. Which is a shame, because in the end, you being whatever a fanboy of NVIDIA, AMD, I don't believe in these kind of things. It's not good for everybody. When you start to compartmentalize and try to exclude people from one camp or another, it's never good for the overall community. So take it as a move. Even if, in my case, I've got recently where I went for the AMD route. The CPUs are excellent for the price and the performance, and I prefer to have, like, for example, a 4090, which is like the Halo product. It's the best performing GPU, but I made a compromise and basically bought the 7900 XTX, which is better than anything that I ever had in my life. So if I was upgrading, depending on what I would have at the time for what I want to upgrade it, but because I only had like a laptop, I went for AMD. The prices to performance are pretty good, even though they have their own issues, but until now I've been okay. I didn't found anything worth mentioning, not even like bugs or something, not oddities. I don't remember catching any of them, but if they do a bad move or something like that, I will let them know, because I'm a consumer. I pay for the freaking product. Nobody paid me anything. So as a consumer, you want always to have the best service and to have like an overall reaching kind of support for everything and for everybody that consumes the products itself. But I will stop my ranting here. Well, let's continue. No Man's Sky is celebrating the 7th anniversary. It's been a long time now, by teasing that the next update echoes. Got a quote here. Didn't have the best game launch in the world, lacking a lot of features, and a lot of stuff was bare empty. But they did manage to do one of the best comebacks in terms of supporting the game and deliver the promise that they made even though a little bit not a bit too late, but a little later than people expected. But now the game is pretty good, from what I understood. 35 plus free updates, which it's corporation talking there, corporal talk. The game should have launched with these supposedly updates, because the game they promised basically included these updates here, but people just don't make the compromise of delaying the games and take their time. I understand in terms of business side that maybe there was some pressure to launch the game when it was launched again. But yeah, they teased up the next update, Echoes. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be free. But if they manage to do this, they started with a very small team. I watched like a mini doc, an average team size of 6. Then at launch they ramped up to 15. But they had some hurdles to come back. They had like a flooding of one of the basements of one of the houses of the guys that they were working on. They have to basically restart everything from scratch. They managed to salvage some stuff there, but they basically have to start up from scratch because the PCs went bust. And as like indie developers, it was very rough to try to overcome that. I remember seeing that. But yeah. Now that they are on a good path here, I just hope the next game they will bring will deliver the promise they will do for that game. We'll see how it goes. I hope the best wishes for everybody. I just want good games for everybody, regardless the genre, whatever, if it is multiplayer or not. I just want good games all over the market, being independent, AAA, AA, whatever it is. And regarding that, we got this news, The Signal. It's like an open world, space-faring survival game. At first, when I see open world survival game, I just think like MMO stuff. I don't know why. It's a trauma that I have, but it's from my side. This seems to be interesting, this game. I think I might have talked about this game like very briefly a few weeks ago. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure. There is a lot of games that I talk about and then I completely forget because I talk about so many things here. But yeah, The Signal, basically it's about exploration, invention and survival, which is the basic tenets of any kind of exploration and survival game. The fact that they are doing first early access, because I think they are independent studio here, they are going to try and max the time frame of the early access for around 1 year. Basically, it's because of the mechanics involved. I understand the fact that you have exploration, invention, survival, all these mechanics here. They have to be fine-tuned, and usually with small teams of people, dev teams, when you don't have like huge amounts to like do some Q&A and get some fine-tuning, you usually, I think it's a good option to do some early access for the game and receive the feedback from the players after they try it out, and they then can fine-tune the game itself. You have like the benchmark of this, which is basically Baldur's Gate 3. They launched Act 1 in early access, and they collected all the feedback throughout, I think, 2 years of free. I'm not sure the time table there, but the fact that they managed to, at that time to collect some of the money from the early access sales and to collect that feedback, they managed to launch a pretty good game, a complete experience without any microtransactions. Without, of course, they have its bugs and everything. It's a way complex game here, but they managed to do an excellent, and I think it's again, I will reinforce this. I think it's a benchmark of what games should continue to be, because we had fully experiences even before the internet. I remember playing games; they come out in the CD-ROM, and you play it as it is. And if it's not a good experience, there is basically no way to fix that until the internet arrives and digital sales and everything that can be integrated on that. But yeah, given that the conditions are what they are at the moment, I think this is a good option for smaller dev teams. It seems pretty interesting how they're going about it. But yeah, I will leave a link of the game because it's announced now on the description here, so you want to follow up or even wishlist it to keep your eyes on it. Now, regarding gaming, part of like the industry side here, it seems that Crystal Dynamics and Eidos profitability plan is ahead of schedule, which is good news. Even though they are not still on the black, which is profitable, the plan that they implemented for these two ones, Crystal Dynamics and Eidos, seems to be on par of getting on the profitability side. Interestingly enough, last year they Embracer Group purchased these two from Square Enix for $300 million. People were a little bit surprised here by the fact it was that cheap, but the games themselves, they are not very profitable, these IPs. Mainly because Tomb Raider was going in a downturn before the reboot, so it took a long time to revamp that franchise. By the fact that I'm going to do a reboot on the series here. I made Rise of Tomb Raider, but I think I'm going to do the free games here, like a gameplay series throughout the free games, because I only played the first and the second one, and I don't remember what happened on the story. I'll get a little bit confused what happened between the first and the second one, so I probably will do a trilogy gameplay. And also Deus Ex, it was a very dormant for a long time Deus Ex IP here, and it got some spin-offs in between this new kind of soft reboot. They were not that good from what I understood, and Human Revolution was a pretty good game, but in terms of tech-wise, it's got some jankiness still on PC port, because the port that was made, I don't remember if it was NXeSS or something like that. I think it's NXeSS usually does this kind of ports. Was not the best from the director's cut, but the gameplay is pretty good. And the second one, Humankind Divided, I think, was a little bit better, but again, it doesn't have like because they were dormant for so many time. Ah, my God, I'm trying to speak here today and I'm not being able to do so. They were dormant for a while, so that's why I think that they were not very profitable, at least for the expectations from Square Enix. They think just by people, these corporate guys think by just picking up a dormant IP out of the thin air that everybody's going to roll out in their bellies and buy everything, which is, if it's not good, whatever. But yeah, funny enough, from operative groups on the Embracer Group, we got THQ Nordic Payon, which is the Deep Silver one. They have to restructure. I think they went bankrupt officially, but then rebranded, something like that. We got also these guys, Coffee Stain, Amplifier Game Invest, Saber Interactive, and Guildbox Entertainment. They are all part basically of PC and console game division here. Then we have mobile division, entertainment and services, and tabletop. It doesn't matter for me. But yeah, it's good to see that at least these two IPs are on track of being profitable, which is always good sign. However, they in their earnings call, that's why we have this news, they're not afraid to close studios and cancel projects that will save costs. Mainly because I covered this, the 2 billion business deal that didn't went through. So they had an alternative plan just in case this failed. And yeah, they in the last earnings calls, they SEQ, I don't know which kind of currency this is, from which country, I'm not sure, I'm sorry. But yeah, they are basically they are not just putting the hammer and just starting smashing projects all over the place. I think they are going to do this in a very surgical, in terms of surgical procedures, because the acquisition of recent acquisitions for them, if you just buy in bulk a lot of stuff and then just start canceling all over the place, it might as well just close the doors of business and that's it. I think they are going to do some trying to at least close some projects that on some IPs that are not very well known, so they can save cost production money on that, because to a certain degree there is like a minimum cost on production wise for a game. Depending on what kind of game, I think there is like a minimum, and they for sure will want to save on those costs here. But yeah, we don't have like specific news of what they are canceling and what they are closing in terms of studios, mainly because it seems that they want to talk in-house first before they just start doing some media statements all over the place before the studios and the people affected know. Other news here, we got some delays for Pacific Drive. This is one of the interesting games that I want that I'm very interested in. It's the one that you drive a car around and try to discover the origins of some anomalies here, and they delay it till early 2024. Supposedly it's to avoid like a crunch time, which is good. Try to avoid that. And they are an independent studio, so they are a small team. They don't just want everybody to start doing crunch, working 20 hours per day or something like that. But it's good. I prefer to wait a few months here and let people work on the game on the proper way without being overworked to launch a freaking game, because by the end of the day it's a game. It's something entertainment. It's not something that need to be people need to put their mental health on the jeopardy just because of a game. I think it's a good option. We will wait and see when it comes out. I hope it's good. I'm very interested in this game. And finally, we got some not so good news here. Dying Light, I've been ramping up this game, at least in terms of how they being adopting the support of this game. They are now adding microtransaction, like a premium currency for microtransaction. They already had like the microtransactions for only for cosmetic stuff, from what I understood. But they are now adding premium currency. This is not a very good move. For several reasons. One of them, first that comes out of my mind, is when you spend your money here, you're locked on that premium currency. You cannot refund that premium currency. You can have like extra premium currency and never be able to spend because you had to buy like a package or something like that, and now basically you lost money that cannot be even spent with that premium currency. It's one of those things that come out of my head just thinking about premium currencies. But yeah, basically this is going to try to go around and avoid spending microtransactions. I don't know what they are thinking here. Even though they say that they announced that it will become because they were basically had some injection of money from Tencent, and now after the acquisition they are having these kind of things, even though they say it's not connected to the partnership. This is going to be very difficult to believe in. I don't know if it's not connected or not, because how they implemented the DL points, it's not good because it's locked to the platform. For example, if you buy the DL points on PC, you cannot. If you have the game on other on PlayStation, on Xbox, you cannot send those points to that platform, which is by itself even worse than it seems. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. They're supposedly going to take feedback and pay close attention to this. This is not going to have a good look on them, because in the first game, the game is what it is, this IP, mainly because of the first game and how long and how they went about supporting the game itself. This is not a good move, even though the game is already launched like 2 years or something like that, at least 2 or 3 years, I think. We'll see how it goes. There is some the game itself, it's good, but the fact that they're adding like this premium currency is not good, because you already have microtransactions already. I don't know what they are thinking of adding premium currency to the microtransaction system already. But yeah, it is what it is. We'll see how it goes, how this is going to have the backlash, the amount of backlash this is going to have. We will see how it goes. I'm going to close up with some gaming deals. We have Bleak Sword DX. This is like a very interesting kind of game. You have like diorama style stages here when you fight. It's very pixelated, where you fight the kind of Dark Souls kind of combat here. Very interesting how they're going about it. I only saw the fact that I only saw the trailer and got me interested here on how they're going about it with the combat and the stage, how you use the stage in your advantage. Seems pretty interesting here. 10% off, $9. I don't know if a demo on this one would be interesting or not, but yeah. The game is already out for Steam. It's like DX is like a remaster from the original game, but yeah, it seems pretty decent game. Very positive reviews, so I think it's well worth the deal here. Also, we got Everspace 2. Never played Everspace games, but I'm very interested in anything sci-fi and space exploration and everything. And the fact that they had the demo here for you to try out before you take a chance on the game, and the fact that it is 20% off, I think it's very good. And of course, they are updating the game as we go along. Yeah, and it's got very good positive reviews. Yeah, it's one of those I would like to try out later in the near future. Seems pretty good. It's I think I played Freelancer when it came out at the time. It was one of those that stick in your mind, like what the game was trying to achieve there, and supposedly this is a little better than that, so it's good news here. Also, we got the Metro franchise here. We got supposedly the Ukrainian Games Festival until the 24th, so we have 3 more days. Got the Metro franchise, so the Redux versions for the first 2 games, 85% off, and Last Light 90% off. So very good deals here. And we got also Metro Exodus. I think the gold edition is a better buy here because you have the DLC attached to it. Yeah, it's one of those trilogies that I want to make also as a gaming series, because I find the story very interesting and very intriguing, because I played the first game and I think I played part of the second one. I don't recall very well, but it's one of those that I found very interesting, the story and how they're going about it. And yeah, basically this is it for today, guys. A little bit longer than I expected. Yeah. Don't forget to give me some feedback regarding quality of the videos and audios, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. So until then, Kunamy Master out.